Welcome to the SABC Digital News Science Wrap. This week on the Science Wrap, we look at the heat wave being experienced in South Africa at the moment, and we also look at the missing Eastern Cape meteorite. But first, let's start with the latest on the drought and water shortage situation. Instead of getting better, the drought situation in South Africa is getting worse. Sugar-growing KwaZulu-Natal is the worst hit. The 2014-2015 season is said to be the driest in the province since 1900. The season is also the third driest for South Africa as a whole since the early 1930s. The drought has brought with it water shortage problems to many in the country. This week, many in Johannesburg found themselves without any water. The city of Johannesburg had to send out water tankers into different parts of the city as taps ran dry. The city has now introduced water restrictions between midnight and 4 a.m. However, the city of Joburg says water shortages in Johannesburg are not due to the drought, but rather the heat wave. Yes, the drought is not the only situation that South Africans have to deal with at the moment. While having to battle a drought, South Africans also have to deal with a heat wave. Some have called this year the hottest yet for South Africa. Temperatures in many parts of the country are hovering around the late 30s, but according to weather forecasts, the weekend will bring with it cooler weather. In Johannesburg, temperatures are expected to drop to 29 degrees on Saturday and 26 degrees on Monday. There's also some rain expected, so let's hope it's the start to this year's rainy season. #rain must fall. The search is still on for the meteorite that was seen in the sky over the Kamtos Valley in the Eastern Cape on Sunday night. Eyewitnesses say that a bright light was seen in the sky, followed by a big bang. Many believe this to be a meteorite, but days later, it still has not been found. Jonathan Padavaten from the Wits Planetarium gives us a possible reason why nobody has been able to find this meteorite yet.
As it shears off and comes into the Earth's atmosphere, by the time it reaches the Earth's ground, or the surface of the ground, then it's lost all its mass into the atmosphere. And the particles are just too small to, it's not like disintegrating in terms of disappears into thin air. It just becomes into much smaller fragments that it's impossible to find.
And lastly, since we are talking about a heat wave, today on The Science Around Us, we will explain the science behind a heat wave. A heat wave happens when a high pressure system or a mass of air stagnates over an area for days or weeks. In such a system, air from the upper levels of the atmosphere is pulled towards the ground, where it becomes compressed and increases in temperature. The high pressure system prevents clouds from entering the region, which heats up the area even more. The longer the system stays in an area, the hotter the area becomes. And that is why you have a heat wave. That's it from the Science Wrap this week. Remember to visit our website for daily updates on the latest science news. See you again next time.